Hey, listen to Cookout Podcast, episode 415. I'm Brando. I'm here with Ryan, and we're going to hit you with the withering boob. Now, hit our theme song! Hey, Ryan. We're back for yet another whirlwind adventure. How you doing?
Good. What is going down?
Whole bunch is going down. We've got a very exciting deck featuring a very exciting nameless character from Murder at Return to Ravnica, better known as Return to Ravnica. Murder House, Death House, if you will. Before we get to any of that stuff, we have some stories to tell, some people to thank, and before we get to any of that stuff, we have to thank our official business daddies, FusionGamingOnline.com, their source for all your gaming needs, and Pile of Bones Brewing Co. They're the beer sponsor for CCO Sidewalk Slam Season 2 right here on YouTube, or, you know what I'm saying? They're also the second coolest thing to come out of Regina after our buddy Keel, who we totally stomped at Magic last weekend.
Oh, did we ever? Yes, we did. We did. A couple things. I got to break that down for the new listeners. They're not used to how fast Uncle Brando does the intro. He's in and out, one take, one and done. Uncle Brando, that's what we call him here. FusionGamingOnline.com.
Source for all your gaming needs.
CCO Summer promo code is going to get you a discount when you buy literally anything at the store.
Let me hit you with some math, everybody.
Okay.
And Ryan.
Got it.
You have money.
Yes.
You want to exchange it for stuff.
That you're going to buy anyways.
If you can use that money to buy more stuff, your money is better.
Or if you want to buy the same amount of stuff and want to have more money left over for buying beer with.
Yeah, that's
also
a good one too.
Good.
CCO Summer at checkout. Save you 5% on everything.
And for the new people, CCO Perks at checkout when you spend over $100 Canadian, that's like $4 USD, you're going to get 10% store credit kickback. So you buy a booster box for $100, 100 and whatever bucks, 100 and change or whatever if you're in the land of the free, you're going to get 10 of that back.
It's pretty good.
And
then you can use that to buy something that costs like $9.50, and then you can save 5% off that, and you have the exact amount of money that you need to pay for it.
There you go. See, making your money go farther. And, of course, big thank you to Pile of Bones Brewing Co., official sponsors of CCO Sidewalk Slam Season 2, Episode 2, coming out February 2.
That's Friday.
Tyler's, yes, that's Friday. We're definitely correct about that this time,
right? Yes, we double-checked last week. We're double-checking this week. That's 3
checks.
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday from now.
Yes.
3 days from now, you can watch Season 2 Sidewalk Slam featuring Pile of Bones' own
Mike.
Dude guy that came up to
Mike
play games
came,
with us.
yeah. And I almost said we ganked him. I almost ganked him. But he talked some mad trash.
Did I gank him?
No, you'll have to watch to see. The game was recorded like a couple months ago. It was before Christmas, right?
I don't remember who won that game. Probably me.
Oh, baby.
Man,
well, it wasn't me.
I win all the games on Sidewalk Slam. I don't even know why people keep showing up.
You know what? Editor Tyler is working on it right now. And he did a tally on Season 1. You should go back and watch all of them, by the way.
Yeah, they're fun.
I won 2. You won 2. And collective guests won the other 4.
Oh, man.
Yeah. So, thus far, my record is not that good. But we've only recorded 3. We've got number 4 coming up this weekend with a friend of the show, Rusty Trom Jones. He's going to introduce himself on the show. It's going to be a ton of fun.
It's going to be a good time.
Yeah, for sure. So go back and watch all of those. Big thanks to everybody who supports that, the patrons over at patreon.com/CCO Podcast.
Best way to support the show and get yourself access to the Discord. The totally finest people in all of Magic.
Yeah, you get finger blasted. That is one of the benefits. You get your CCO nickname. That's one of the benefits. And I'm going to put a poll out there for my decks for the next episode. You can help us vote on decks. If you remember how to do that, you can do it too.
I'll ask Laura how to do it.
Okay.
She'll help me.
The instructions are in the polls thing up at the top.
Don't care.
Don't care.
Nope,
Make Laura do it.
I go right to the bottom and I post
and ask
something.
Laura.
Yes. That is exactly what I do.
Is that what you...
Yeah.
That's another good little benefit. People, and it's a direct line to us, right? You can tag us, and I talk with lots of people about altering cards and just the content that goes out and just the BS that ensues, right?
I creepily lurk and put brash taunter emojis on posts that I like.
Yeah. And coming up, we should have mentioned this last week, but I didn't. We've got the CCO experience coming up in Chicago. I did mention that.
Yes.
But I didn't mention coffee.com/Commander Cookout. If you want to buy anybody in the nation a beer, there's going to be like, I don't want to say 50 of us, but I want to say more than dozens of us.
Ooh,
yeah, like there's
exciting.
all of the people that are going to be in our house proper, and there's at least 2 other houses of people that I know like are going down and meeting, and we're going to make a giant Commander Cookout area with tables, and we can get food in there, and we're going to have the creator area at 2:00 on Saturday. If you want to go over to coffee.com, we make the joke like you're buying us beer all the time, but if you want to donate to somebody's pizza fund, beer fund, or if you want to buy somebody specific a drink, you can actually, I think, write a message there.
Oh, that's neat.
And let me know. Or just like send me a message or an email. Hey, I donated $10. I want to buy Uncle Brando a beer or whatever, right? Like,
That'd be nice.
I want to buy, Tyler's going to be there, and John is going to be there. He's doing content for us now. Mac is going to be there. He's going to be doing content for us, right? So if you like any of that and you want to support that, that's the other good way to do it.
Yes. Also, liking and sharing and subscribing on whatever you're listening or watching to right now.
Watching? You mean on YouTube?
What you should be doing, because Joe looks really, really hard to make us look cool, and that's not an easy job. And the point is that also helps the show, and it's free.
Yeah, very
And
much so.
pushing buttons, I haven't said this in a long time, so I think people might have forgotten. Pushing buttons is fun. So clicking the like button, it is fun. Try it, you'll see.
The like buttons, thumbs up buttons, subscribe buttons.
Yeah.
You better click that one. That's the only one business daddies care about.
What do we got going on today, Ryan?
Well, hey, last thing.
thing.
CommanderCookout.com, deal of the week.
Yep.
I'm doing a new deal every week.
Okay.
We've got a couple sidewalk playmats left.
Okay.
I want them gone.
Yep.
They're all on sale. Head over there. Anything that features a sidewalk playmat, like we've got the game kits that have the playmat, the dice bags, and stickers like as a kit. You click one button and you get all that stuff. Because that has a playmat in it, sale.
Deal.
Playmat, sale. That's
Yard sale.
it. Yard sale.
Get them out of here.
Get them out of here. Yeet them out the frickin' window while I'm driving by. Here's your playmat.
Let's tell them the commanders they can know some magic stuff.
Let's do it.
Okay, so today we are doing Bleed Proc by the Phyrexian Archives. That
Gross.
sounds like an STD by the Phyrexian Archives.
Yes, in the Discord, Jaw Freak, new nickname, to the top stacks hole. Yes,
Yep.
stacks hole.
Joffrey stacks hole.
Yes.
Massacre Girl. I want to call her Killer Clown.
She got the creepy face paint.
Well, yeah,
stuff.
that's why she's from Rakdos, and she's got clown face paint on,
Yeah.
and she kills people.
But she's mono black.
That's what Rakdos does. Anyway,
She's just black dose. I just went there.
we did it. Killer Clown, Massacre Girl, Black 2, 4/4, Menace. Creatures you control have Wither. Whenever a creature an opponent controls eats shit, if its toughness was less than 1, draw a card.
What is up with her? What is that word? Massacre Girl? Noun killer?
Known killer.
Noun.
Known.
I'm sticking with noun.
With noun?
It's like she hates persons, places, or things.
You know what noun rhymes with? Clown.
Yes.
Yep. Massacre Girl, Killer Clown, baby.
There we go.
I'm
Okay,
very
what
excited that this card was
4/4
was
for
out.
4 with Menace. Human Assassin. Creatures you control have Wither.
Wither means they deal damage to creatures in the form of -1/-1 counters. So your damage is permanent.
That's kind of like half infect.
Yes.
Okay,
Like it
continue.
lots. Like that lots. And then whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, if their toughness is less than 1, you draw a card. So if they have if you're attacking with a 4/4, they block with a 3/3, you wither their 3/3 into oblivion, their toughness is now -1, you draw a card.
Whoa, that's pretty good. So basically, anything that dies via creature damage from us is gonna draw us a card.
That's right.
We could potentially rip through this deck.
We could abuse that to the ends of the earth.
Is this okay? This is something that we'll have to watch for, because this is one of the questions that I like to pose before we start, and I'll do the other ones in a minute so we can see what we're going to be running into. Is this the kind of commander that we could build in a fun, unique, interesting, dynamic, and casual way,
Yes.
but also make it into like some kind of combo deck where we just draw our entire deck all at once.
Yes.
Also, yes.
Yes.
I like this kind of commander because it encourages people to open up before the game to say, this is what kind of deck this is. This is what kind of experience you can expect to have.
Yep.
And that experience can be, I don't know, I just have draft shaft that says -1/-1 counter on it.
Like this deck.
All the way up until, hey, I've got this thing where I'm just repeatedly spamming -1s to creatures over and over to kill literally anything that you play and rip through my whole deck.
Also this deck.
Oh.
Well, sort of.
But it could be.
It could be.
Okay, other questions include the return of Wither. Are you excited? Are you
Yes.
happy? Is Wither good?
Yeah, I love Wither.
Is Wither good in Commander, though?
We'll see.
Or does it...
I think so.
Or
I
is
think
it-
it's fun. I like it. I think that it changes the game enough that it makes combat into a
yes.
different animal.
There's the answer, yes.
Your chump blockers, especially against this deck, your chump blockers are going to give your opponents cards, which is a kind of a no-no. But if you block with...
a creature an opponent controls dies... Oh!
It's like,
Oh, but it's only creatures we control get Wither.
yes.
Creatures we control, and it's only when our opponent's creatures die.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if they block your 5/5 with a 1/1, they're going to give you a card, which is a thing. But if they block your 5/5 with a 6/6 to kill your dude, their 6/6 turns into a 1/1 forever.
And it changes combat math tomorrow.
Yeah.
Math is for blockers, but it's for me today.
Yes.
Nope, tomorrow.
Correct.
Tomorrow. Okay. So Wither could be good, especially if we've got especially if we are okay with chump blocking. Like maybe we'll see some Reanimate and Massacre Girl decks. Maybe we'll see like tokens or just incidental or instant speed stuff where it's like, oh, just kidding, I have a blocker.
You know what's fantastic in decks like this? First Strike.
Ooh, yes, yes. Is Death Touch good?
Also, yes. No,
not really.
But I mean,
If
Death
it's
Touch is always kind
Toughness has to be less than 1, not 1. So you can't almost get there and then terminate it or terror it and then draw a card. It needs to be 0 when it dies.
But you can just straight up tragic slip it.
Ooh.
Or dismember it.
Or stab wound it.
Yes.
Or all of those things are kind of violent.
Yeah, mutilate it.
Mutilate would work.
Yeah,
Yes.
mutilate's a good
Mutilate's
one.
a good one. Okay. -1/-1 counters. It's the other thing I want to look at. We'll see how much they actually matter, because typically in Commander we're always only interested in +1/+1 counters.
Yep.
And people forget that +1s and -1s cancel each other out.
Yeah.
And a lot of the times it's like incidental -1 counter on your guy that's got a +1 and you just take the dice off.
Right.
But this deck is going hard with -1s. Okay, so we'll take a look at that. We'll look at some cards. We'll do some strengths and some weaknesses. We'll see how budget we can make it, because
Is it not budget right now? I don't even... We're on... we were going to talk about this. We talked about it before the show. We're on Moxfield today instead of on...
Ad City,
what was that?
Architect.
Last week?
Oh, tapped out.
Tapped out. We're moving out of the Stone Age into the Bronze Age. And I want to give kudos to Moxfield on this one. I searched the exact deck name,
Capitals and everything.
capitals and everything, and it actually showed up in the results that it gave me. 5th from the top. Amazing. Amazing. Man, these deck building websites are sweet, hey?
Okay, let's flip over to some cards. We read Massacre Girl. Let's flip over some cards. We'll see what's what.
Yes. All right, Ryan, where should we start in cards? Should we just start at the top and work our way down?
Let's start at the ramp section, because that's where we usually start, and I have a question about one of these cards.
Oh man, mine are all different. Okay,
there you
go.
go.
Here we go. So we got Arcane Signet, Sol Ring, Bontu's Monument, the Immortal Sun, Jet Medallion, and Throne of Eldraine.
Okay, Bonte's Mani, Blackie, Creechy, Costy, 1 lessy.
Correct.
Also, whenever you cast a creature spell, any creature spell, each opponent loses 1 and we gain 1.
Sure.
That's fine. Okay, that's like a 3-drop mana rock that continues to pay. I want to talk about Throne of Eldraine.
Okay, costs 5.
Costs 5.
Pick a color.
Black.
Tap, add 4 mana of the chosen color, black.
Yes.
Spend this mana only to cast mono-colored spells of that color.
Also black.
3, tap, draw 2 cards. Spend only mana of the chosen color to activate this ability.
Also black. Because that's what we're playing.
Wow.
Is this card good?
No.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Why the frick is it $28?
Because it's from the Eldraine Commander decks, and it's playable and people think it's good, even though it's not.
It's a 5-drop, get 4 mana, so like you almost make your mana back. That's good.
But you can't play artifacts with it if you were so inclined.
I suppose you can't go but you've already played your other mana rocks with it. Could I play this and then play a 4-drop? Am I doing that on turn 2, 3, 4, or 5?
Maybe
2, 3, or 4, I guess.
I feel like if you're making 5 mana on turn
5
3 or 4, you could probably play a better 5-drop than this. And if you're going to play a big mana engine like this, you might want to look into the Devotion Lotus that costs 4 and gives you Devotion to Black, which you do very well with in this deck.
Yes.
Or possibly it costs 7 but taps for 5.
Oh, yeah. Frick.
And I forget the other thing that whatever that card does, but that might also be a good include. I don't know. This one draws cards, I suppose. But
that's what makes it good, but I'm thinking versus Nyx Bloom Lotus? Nyx Lotus?
Yeah.
Something like that. Over and above that one, this one draws cards, but I'm looking at things like Massacre Worm, Meat Hook Massacre, and a couple of our other really big spells. Like, we might want that instead of this. But I don't know. We're going to look at the weaknesses and the strengths in a couple minutes.
In a little while. So what are we looking at now? Should we look at, is there maneuver? Is there
let's look at card draw, because the Throne of Eldraine leads kind of right into the card draw discussion. We had 6 ramp. Not very many ramps. I'm just throwing that out there.
That's fine.
And then I'm looking at the card draws. 4 card draws.
Well, remember that our commander has card draws stapled directly to her.
I do, at the 4 mana slot.
Yes.
And we've got card draw here, 4 of them at all of them at 3 mana actually, and then the Throne of Eldraine at 5 mana.
Yes.
So it might cover us like early and mid game. We've got a Nakara Lair Scavenger.
So that's a 2/2 human cleric, black 2, partner with Yannick's Scavenging Sentinel, not on the deck because he's a Celestia creature.
Yes.
So it gives you a free shuffle if you want it. She also has Menace. Whenever another creature you control leaves the battlefield, if it had 1 or more counters on it, you draw a card and lose a life.
Whenever another creature you control. Oh, okay.
It might happen.
It doesn't happen with our commander with Wither, though, because
correct.
Only our stuff gets Wither, not their stuff. Okay.
Now, this one I like, except for their stupid fucking face.
Oh.
Do not like Mari the Killing Quill's face.
Okay. It's a 3/2 Vampire Assassin for black 1. Remember all these devotions to black we got, these black pips? Because, I mean, again, that Nyx Lotus thing is going to be ever important. And we're not playing Nykthos, Shrine to Nyx.
You know what we should be playing? Phyrexian Obliterator. I love that card.
Ooh, yeah,
I love that
That's
card.
a good one. Okay. Whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, exile it with a hit counter on it. Assassins, mercenaries, and rogues you control have death touch, and whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, you may remove a hit counter from a card that player owns in exile. If you do, draw a card and create 2 treasure tokens.
That's pretty cool.
Holy smokes. That's a lot to I don't know. That's lots.
Massacre Girl is an assassin.
Correct.
Also, so that's neat.
Yeah, is the old Massacre Girl an assassin?
Don't know. We'll have to see when we get there. Dust Urchins. I know that it's dusk, but I want to say dust.
Yeah, this is from Shadowmoor. This is an OG Witherer, hey?
Yep.
A 4/3 oof for black 2, so that's already good.
Yep.
Okay. Whenever Dusk Urchin attacks or blocks, put a -1 counter on it. Oh, so that works with, what's it called? Nakara.
Sure does.
Okay. Whenever Dusk Urchin is put into the graveyard from play, draw a card for each -1 counter on it. Oh, so it's like, instead of go wide Massacre Girl Clown Killer, that's go tall.
Yes, sort of. I definitely used a Black Sun Zenith with this thing one time to draw 11 cards. It was really good.
Oh, yeah, that is good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's actually pretty good.
That was pretty good. And the last card in this section is the card we were talking about on the pre-show that I want one of. Game Day promo, Braid's Arisen Nightmare.
Give it a read.
It is a 3/3 Nightmare for black 1. At the beginning of your end step, you may sacrifice an artifact, creature, enchantment, land, or planeswalker. If you do, each opponent may sacrifice a permanent that shares a card type with it. For each opponent who decides not to, they lose 2 life and we draw a card.
Oh, wow. That's okay.
It's a pretty good card.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's not too bad. Should we talk about like some sweepers, I guess?
I got spot removal and sweepers queued up, and oh man, if we were lacking in the card draw department, we are not lacking in the removal department.
We are not. Where do you want to start? I'm looking at wipes. Let's start there.
Sure.
I'm looking at wipes. Plague Spitter is the first one.
Oh,
Plague Shitter.
yeah. Look at the weird art. Look at his tiny legs.
I like that.
And look
a
at
lot.
he's got like the U-shaped hairline. He's just got hair on the sides like George Costanza.
Or Hulk Hogan. He's like, hell yeah, brother.
Hell yeah, brother.
You know what plagues he's spitting? The plague of intolerance, which has no place in the nation, Hulk Hogan, you fuck. All right, I dunked on Hulk Hogan today. I didn't think I was going to get to do that.
Oh, man. This guy cannot drop a leg drop.
No chance.
Leg's too small.
No chance.
Oh, if you're watching on YouTube, you'd know.
Yeah, so what can he do, though, right?
Okay, he's a 2/2 Phyrexian Whore.
Rur.
Yeah.
Yep.
For 3. At the beginning of your upkeep, Plague Spitter deals 1 damage to each creature and each player. And when Plague Spitter dies, it deals 1 damage to each creature and each player.
Keep in mind it has Wither. So that will
Come on.
That will shrivel your opponent's creatures down. Of course, it hurts us too. But
Don't care.
Who gives a shit?
Well, the damage wears off on the end of our turn because...
No, it still has Wither. It would still wither our guys too.
Oh, yeah. This is the weird instance where it does wither us.
Yeah.
Okay.
This one also is Thrashing Whumpus. Or Thrashing Whoop-Ass, as I would say.
Yeah. I almost lost to this card 2 nights ago. I have not seen this card in freaking years. I see it twice in 2 days. I whooped my ass both times. Okay, 3/3 for 5. It's a beast. It's from Mercadian Masks, so you know it's a fucking doozy. It's got black. Deal 1 damage to each creature and each player.
With Wither, so it's going to shrivel up your dudes.
It's going to give you a shrink dink like you're walking into the lake on Main Long.
That's right.
Yes.
Should be a Phyrexian Obliterator, for the record. Sudden Spoiling.
Split second, all your guys can have 0/2 and no abilities.
Somebody else's guys.
Yes.
Yes, very good.
Yes, I was referencing my opponent when I said that.
Works really good with Massacre Worm.
Yes, you cast your Sudden Spoiling, then you cast your Massacre Worm. It enters the battlefield -2s, everybody. Very important that that's -2s, not damage.
Also of note, it has a second paragraph on it.
Yes, this is usually the good one, too.
I think people forget about this sometimes also.
Really? I think this is the good one.
Because, like, I've had lots of Sapperling players go, "Oh, damn it, you wiped up my whole board." I was like, dude, you had like 25 guys.
Yeah,
dude.
now take 50.
Yeah, you're dead now.
Yes, okay, so whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, that player loses
Dose life.
Yes.
Dose is 2.
Yes.
We talked about this card already, Black Sun Zenith.
Yep. X, -1/-1 counters on each creature, then you shuffle it back into your library.
That's a good one.
And this one is -1 counters. Lots of
Yes.
people forget that too.
Yes.
They're like, oh yeah, okay, so my guy doesn't die. And you're like, well, no, it's a 1/1 now.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, much like when Brando goes to Taco Bell, we have a Toxic Deluge.
This card saved me the other night, and I didn't even cast it.
Ooh.
Pay any life when you cast it, and then it gives all creatures -X, where X is life you paid.
Keeping in mind, this will also draw us a bunch of cards with Killer Clown.
That's actually good. Like, what do you do? Yeah, that's good.
Yep.
That's
Same
good.
deal off of Massacre Girl. Is an assassin. for the
I
record.
was just gonna say she's a human assassin in both her cards. Okay, Menace 4/4 for 5. When it enters the battlefield, each other creature gets -1/-1 until end of turn. Whenever a creature dies this turn, each creature then gets another +1.
Yeah,
So
it's
-1.
It's like a cascading. Is if there's a 1/1, it'll die. That'll kill all the 2/2s, which will kill all the 5/5s, which will kill all the 10/10s. Everything usually dies when you play Massacre Girl.
Yes.
I've survived one Massacre Girl 1 play, and let me tell you, the look on that guy's face, 100% worth it.
Usually everything dies. Yeah, the 1/1s die, then the 2/2s, then the 3/3s, then the 4/4s. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But then the 11/11s are still around, and the guy's going, "Oh damn it!
Yes.
Oh shit, go!"
Yes.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
And lastly, but not leastly, the Meat Hook Massacre.
Lots of massacring in this deck.
Yeah.
Are we playing the card Massacre?
We are not, but we should
What?
be.
Come on.
Play it instead of Plague Spitter.
Come on.
That's what I'd do.
I'm going to read Massacre. You know what? You read Meat Hook Massacre. I'm going to read regular Massacre.
Okay, the Meat Hook Massacre is a legendary enchantment for black X. When it comes into play, each creature gets -X till end of turn. Whenever a creature we controls dies, each opponent loses 1 life. Whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, we gain 1 life.
Oh. So, okay. I'm looking at 8 cards that have Massacre in them,
Okay.
in the name. One of them is The Blood Sky Massacre can't play that because it's Rakdos.
Okay.
We could play and are playing all of the other ones except for Eyeblight Massacre. Non-elf creatures get -2/-2 until end of turn.
Now we can fuck off.
Yeah, that card is not that good. But also, straight up Massacre from Nemesis. If an opponent controls a plains, you may cast, and you control a swamp, you can cast Massacre without paying its mana cost.
Neat.
And then it just says, all creatures get -2/-2 until end of turn.
That's pretty good.
And if you don't cast it for free, it's black 2.
You know what else we can play? Mutilate.
Mutilate, yeah.
Yeah,
Yes,
-1/-1 for each swamp we control.
That's a good one. That's a good one. And there's also there's an each creature that does that. That's Mutilate. And then there's a target creature. Let's move on and see what we are actually playing.
In spot removal, we have Black Sun's Twilight.
Oh, Black Sun Twilight. Okay, so Black X instant, mind you.
Yeah.
Up to one target creature gets -X/-X until end of turn, where if X is 5 or more, return a creature with mana value X or less from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped.
Is that Shieldred in the art there?
Probably.
So like that big standy-uppy thing are her legs?
And they're like anchored to the ground. Is she standing on a beach? She dug her feet into the sand?
Oh, she likes to wiggle her toes under sand? I like to do that.
I think it's a representation for how grounded she is as a person.
Possibly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
More wholesome than you thought.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Drown in Ichor. Don't Google that.
No.
There's a lot of tentacles on this card, Ryan. I'm uncomfortable. Let's just read it quick and move on.
Target creature gets -4 until end of turn, and then proliferate.
Beautiful.
It's a sorcery for 2.
Whispers of the Dross.
Target creature gets -1/-1 until end of turn, and proliferate.
Screams from within.
Ooh, that's like when Uncle Brando has Taco Bell.
That's right.
Enchanted creature this time gets -1/-1. When enchanted creature bites the dust, you can return Screams from Within from the graveyard to the battlefield.
That's pretty neat.
Ooh, it's free at that point.
I like that.
Yeah, get your guy, then get another guy.
Crumbling Asses.
Crumbly Ass. At the beginning of your upkeep, destroy target creature with a -1 counter on it. Hey, that's pretty good.
I
too.
like that one.
Because, come on, we're doing all the -1 stuff. We haven't even gotten to all the stuff we're doing yet.
That's right. Dismember.
Dismember. You can go Phyrexian black, colorless, and target creature gets -5/-5 until end of turn, instant speed. This card's actually good. This is a legitimate card in multiple formats across Magic. I would play this card in many a deck.
I play it in 2.
Yeah, there you go.
Mm-hmm. Virtue of Persistence.
Look at us go. This is one of the most expensive cards in the deck.
Dang.
Yeah, okay, so this has got an adventure, right? A sorcery adventure for black 1 called Lochthwain Scorn.
Sounds fake.
Yeah.
Target creature gets -3/-3 until end of turn. You gain a life.
I was going to make a Scorn Hub joke. Okay. And then also, you can cast it for its black 5 cost after you adventured it or whatever. At the beginning of your upkeep, put target creature card from your graveyard onto the battlefield tapped under your control. Oh, it's any creature.
It doesn't say tapped.
Nope.
Nope, just goes in there.
And just gets any guy.
Yep, just gets a dude.
There
puts
you
him
go.
back. So where should we go now? We're like doing all this stuff.
Well,
let's do some anthems.
Yeah,
bad anthems.
We've got we got bad anthems, bad counters, good counters, and token makers. So I guess
I'm looking at bad anthems.
Sure, let's do it.
Illness in the ranks.
Illness in your flanks. Also, when Uncle Brando has Taco Bell.
Correct.
Creature tokens get -1/-1. Feels a little bit meta, but I see what the deck is doing when I read the other 4 of these.
Yes. Karavek the Spiteful.
Karavek the Spiteful. Other creatures get -1/-1.
Engineered Plague.
Choose a creature type. They all get -1/-1.
Plague Engineer.
Choose a creature type. They too get -1/-1.
On a 2/2 with Death Touch.
Sure.
Ascendant Evankar.
Other black creatures get +1. That's us. Non-black creatures get -1. That's you.
That's pretty good.
And it flies. Because, sure.
It's a 3/3 for 6 with flying. That's...
Thanks, Prophecy.
That's a thing.
No, thanks, Nemesis.
There we go.
There you go.
Bad counters.
Sure.
Now,
this is what we've all been waiting for,
There's
right?
a ton of stuff in this section that's in my Harobi deck. Not Harobi.
Hapatra.
Hapatra deck.
Yes.
As you might guess.
Now, is this... Is the combo in here that we can just mad kill everything and draw like 25 cards?
Nope.
Are you sure?
Yep.
Okay, let's check.
Nest of Scarabs.
Nest of Scarabs. Whenever you put one or more +1 counters on a creature, we get a black insect creature token.
Get that many.
Oh.
This also works really good with Black Sun Zenith.
Ooh.
Because you do it for 11, then you draw 11 cards off your Dusk Oof, and then you've killed, let's say, 14 guys. So you make 11 times 14. That's 128 1/1s.
Whenever a creature you control with a -1 counter on it, whenever you put a -1 counter, there it is. Oh, yeah, that's really good.
Yeah, that's a good card.
Okay.
So whenever you're
I had to puzzle all that out in my mind.
oh yeah, it's dope as hell. Grim Puppet.
Oh. 4/4 for 7. This is starting good already. It's from Shadowmoor, so you know it's good. Scarecrow. Grim Puppet comes into play with 3 -1 counters on it.
So it's a 1/1 for 7.
I'm listening. Remove a -1 from it. Put a -1 on something else.
It's pretty good.
I suppose.
And then if you can add more -1s to it, you can keep that going.
Hey,
It's
we
pretty good.
might be able to. I don't know. We'll have to see.
Blowfly Infestation.
Oh, man, I want this to be me. Wait. Just the first part.
Dude, that's like it's a weird sack with a butthole in it with a bunch of flies coming out of it. You want nothing to do with this, my guy.
Well, the first parts I did. Not the flies coming out of it parts. Okay. Enchantment for 3. Whenever a creature is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, if it had a -1 counter on it, put a -1 counter on target creature. Are you sure that doesn't count combo with Nest of Scarabs? Because you just put a -1 counter on the guy that you just got from Nest of Scarabs, and it's infinite ETBs.
Oh, and ETBs.
ETBs and ETBs.
That's right.
Enter the battlefield, enter the bin.
That's right.
Yes. Mix
Or
it.
enter the battlefield and exit the battlefield. I just thought of that too. Yeah.
Okay, so whenever a creature an opponent controls, though,
There
so
we
we
go.
can't draw our whole deck.
Yes.
Frick.
Yeah.
But we could have a blood artist type effect. I mean, that's the combo, right?
Yeah, that is
That's
the
the
combo.
combo. Okay, so we're not doing that quite.
We're not quite there yet.
Okay.
Midnight Banshee.
Midnight Banshee. This is Uncle Brando's. Yeah, I was going to say, you don't want to know. 5/5 for 6 with Wither. At the beginning of your upkeep, put a -1 counter on each non-black creature. Ooh.
Then take the one off of Grim Poppet, put it on somebody else.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Now here's a good one. I like this one. Spitting Dilophosaurus.
Oh, Newman. 3/2 dinosaur for 3. Whenever Spitting Dilophosaurus Newman enters the battlefield or attacks, put a -1/-1 counter on up to 1 target creature. Creatures your opponent control with -1 counters on them can't block because they get their eye spit in.
That's right. Isn't that awesome?
Oh, yeah.
It's flavorful and it's awesome.
Yeah.
Necro Skidder. This is good.
Oh, yeah. I think I've lost to this card before.
This is a good card.
This is a 1/4 Wither for 3. Whenever a creature an opponent controls with a -1 counter on is put into the graveyard, you may return that card to play under our control.
That's right.
So not only do we kill your guy, but
get it.
we draw a card and then we get your guy.
Yep.
That's pretty good.
And we make 3 bugs and put a -1/-1 counter on another one of your guys.
Or-
therefore making another bug.
Yeah. That's pretty good.
That's pretty dope.
Okay.
Lastly, but not leastly, I'm sure we have Yawgmoth Thran Physician.
Oh, certainly not leastly. No, this is a 2/4 protection from humans because that's surprisingly relevant.
Yeah.
Black 2. You can pay 1 life, sacrifice another creature. I don't know, maybe one with a -1 counter on it. To put a -1 counter on target creature and draw a card.
And
So this can kick off all kinds of things where we put counters on stuff and then they die and then we get bugs and then okay, so this does that already. Also, black, discard a card, proliferate.
yes.
So if your guy's like a 7/7, we could only put 6 counters on him. Now we can put the 7th one on with proliferate.
Yep.
And then it'll die. I'll draw a card and I'll get your guy.
Correct.
Okay.
It's pretty good.
This is I like this. This is good.
Should we do good counters or manipulate counters?
Well, let's do the good counters. We just did the bad. Let's do the good. Then we'll see how we manipulate them.
Okay,
Manipulate them?
We're gonna start with a card that I don't know. It's Sautek Immortal.
There we go. This is a Warhammer card. This is a 2/2 for 3. Lots of low mana costs, hey?
Yeah.
Lots of like 2s and 3s. It's got flash. That's good. When it enters the battlefield, put a +1 counter on each creature that... Huh?
You put a +1/+1 counter on it for each creature that died this turn.
Put a +1 counter on each creature that died this turn. What?
That's one of those rebuild after a wrath things. I don't know how I feel about that. That's fine.
You Black Sun Zenith and get all the guys, or Massacre Worm and get all the guys, and then this guy's like a 20/20.
Sure.
Probably fine, isn't it?
I guess so.
Okay.
Nightshade Harvester.
Whenever a land enters a battlefield under an opponent's control, that player loses 1 life, and you put a +1 counter on Nightshade Harvester.
That's pretty cool.
That's pretty good. That's like, it gets 4 bigger per turn.
I like that.
Usually. Sometimes, I guess.
Yeah.
And they lose a little bit of life.
Blade of the Butt Cheek.
Whenever a creature dies, put a +1 counter on equipped creature. If equipped creature's a vampire, it gets +2/+2. Well,
we got
2
a few,
+1s.
We got a few vampires in here.
Yes.
Starting with Yahenni, Undying Partisan.
Yeah, 2/2 haster. Whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, you put a +1 on him, and you sacrifice another creature, like, I don't know, one with a -1 counter on it to start your combo off, and he gains indestructible until end of turn.
Neat.
That doesn't save him from minus counters, but you probably don't care.
We don't give a shit.
Yeah, I don't care.
Necropolis Regent.
Oh, this card's good.
Yes.
And another vampire.
'Tis.
6/5 for 5. Nope, 6/5 flyer for 6. There we go.
There you go.
Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, put that many +1s on it.
Ooh.
Yeah, so if we're like trading and stuff's got wither and our stuff's getting small, then it hits somebody, we just bump all that stuff up.
Our stuff doesn't get small. Only their stuff gets small.
I know, but lots of things that we're doing are putting counters on guys.
Yes.
Right? Like if we Black Sun Zenith, but just for enough that our guys don't die, then we Necropolis region, our guys will all grow back big.
That's the truth.
I love getting big.
Tarian's Soul Cleaver.
This is equipped creature has vigilance, and whenever another creature or artifact is put in the graveyard from the battlefield, you put a +1 on equipped creature. This is like Blade of the Blood Chief 2, right?
Ish.
Last
one we have Obnix Unshackled.
Flying, trample, 4/4 demon for 6. Whenever an opponent searches their library, this deals 10 to them. So that's fine.
And they sack a dude. They sack a dude and lose 10 life. Oh, man.
That's probably pretty good. Whenever another creature dies, put a +1/+1 counter on Obnixless. So I guess our guy gets bigger when they search too, because they would have a guy die. Probably.
Sure. Man, that's pretty good. I like that.
That's pretty good. Too bad it doesn't have flash. You flash it in when somebody frickin', does something.
Yeah. That'd be neat.
Yeah.
Let's manipulate some counters.
I love nips.
Blight Beetle.
I feel like we've played this card one time.
I feel like we have also played this card one time.
This is a 1/1 for 2. Protection from green. Oh, this card's frickin' screaming good, man. Creatures your opponents control can't have +1/+1 counters put on them.
Listen up. You've been withered. I worked hard on it. Fuck you. They're staying small. I like that. Feign the Broker. Oh, man, this guy does so many things. This guy does it. He's another one of those infinite mana, infinite win the game dudes, I think.
Oh,
right?
Yeah, because you can untap him, right?
Yep.
Okay, so he untaps for black 3. He's a 3/3 that you can tap, sack a creature, put 2+1s on target creature, or tap, remove a counter from a creature you control to create a treasure, or tap, sacrifice an artifact, create a 2/1 white and black Inkling creature token.
Dinkling.
Yes. So that's probably fine. What do we do with them? Do we put +1s?
No, you just make a bunch of dudes.
Is that what we do?
Probably.
But no. I think we remove a counter from a creature we control to create a treasure. He makes mana.
He makes mana, he make dude, he make everything.
I suppose.
Makes all the things.
He's just good in the deck, I guess.
Thief of Butt.
Yes. 6-drop, 1/1.
Now we're talking.
Another vampire. Flying. Thief of Butt enters the battlefield. Remove all counters from all permanents. Thief of Blood gets that many +1s.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, frick. He's going to be like a 60/60.
He's big. He's very large.
He didn't got haste, though, hey?
No.
Dang.
Power Conduit.
This card, originally from Mirrodin. Nobody knows about this card, but it's freaking good. 2-drop artifact. Tap, remove a counter from a permanent you control. Choose one. Put a charge counter on something.
Sure.
or put a +1 counter on a creature.
Neat.
We just remove any frickin' counter. It doesn't care.
Yep.
Just any counter.
Yep.
Oh. And then
take that -1/-1 counter off, replace it with a +1/+1. Very
yes.
nice.
Yes.
Hex Parasite or Sex Parasite.
Oh, Hexy P, which also could be a sex parasite.
Yes.
Hexy P. I got the Hexy P. Got to get some pills for that. It's a 1/1 for 1. It's got Phyrexian Black and X, and you remove X counters from each. Nope, that's not what it does. Remove up to X counters from target permanent. For each counter removed this way, it gets +1/+0 until end of turn.
So you can take -1/-1s off of yourself, or loyalty counters off of planeswalkers, or charge counters off of artifacts. You can do all kinds of stuff. It's pretty cool.
It removes counters and gets bigger.
Yes.
Yeah.
Staff of Completion. Jesus, there's cards that just do so many
everything.
things.
Yeah. Okay, so this one untaps for 5, remember. Okay. You can tap it, pay 1 life, destroy target permanent you own.
Sure.
We might want our stuff to die,
Maybe.
right? You can tap, pay 2 life, add 1 mana of any color. That's fine.
Fine.
Tap, pay 3 life, proliferate. Hey, that's getting good. That's getting good because we might draw cards off that.
It's true.
Tap, pay 4 life, draw a card.
We are going to draw a card off that.
Yes, we will. And of course, you can pay 5 to untap it. So another infinite mana, and maybe not win the game because we got to pay life. But if some way, shape, or form we can manipulate and get life, get a frickin' life, then we can win.
The Ozolith.
Man, this card's good.
This is a very good card.
It's a good card. Whenever a creature you control leaves the battlefield, just leaves.
Yep.
If it had counters on it, put those counters on the Ozolith.
Yep.
So you just move all the different kinds of things onto the Ozolith for any guys. Okay. At the beginning of combat on your turn, if the Ozolith has counters on it, you may move those counters onto target creature.
It's pretty cool. Like
You
that.
may move all counters from the Ozolith onto target creature. So one guy gets all the counters.
Yes,
That's okay because we'll have one giant guy.
that's correct. That
But-
has Wither.
If we had 10 guys that all had counters, all of those counters would go on the Ozolith.
Yep.
And then we play one guy, he'd get them all.
Now, then we play a land to get our blood gassed out of the graveyard, and it's got haste because somebody's been getting beat to death because they didn't want to block our Wither guys. Then we load them up with counters. Then somebody else is going to be dead, or we're going to draw a card. Probably draw a card.
Yes.
Either way, let's talk about tokens.
Tokens. This is how we're going to do some stuff.
Have we ever played Akron Horse?
I think we probably have. Okay. It's a 0/4 defender horse for 4. When it enters the battlefield, an opponent gains control of it. Man, this card is getting suckier and suckier. At the beginning of your upkeep, each opponent creates a 1/1 white soldier creature token. I'm going to get guys every time it's your upkeep because
Yes.
you have it.
Yeah, and if people use them to attack us and we block with the token we made, we'll draw a card. We'll both lose our guy, but we'll draw a card.
That's good.
Pretty cool.
Yes.
Tribute to Hirobi.
Okay, this is a saga. Chapter 1 and 2. Each opponent creates a 1/1 black rat rogue creature token, and Chapter 3 is exile it and transform it under your control, and it transforms into Echo of Death's Wail.
They did my girl Hirobi dirty, and I'm standing by that all day long. We end up with, instead of a 4/4 flyer that warps the game of Magic to her will, bends it into a different game, we get Echo of Death's Wail, which is a 3/3 flying creature with haste. Enters the battlefield, gain control of all rat tokens. Not even rats. Just rat tokens.
Because it makes rat tokens.
And whenever it attacks, you can sack another dude if you do draw a card.
Well, I suppose we'll be attacking with our flying haster. Oh, frick, it's got haste.
Yeah.
So, okay, this is what we do. Everything eats shit. Ozolith gets all the counters. And then Hirobi flips, and then it's got haste, and it just ganks somebody. That's not bad.
We could do that.
That's not terrible.
Spoils of Butt.
Yes. Instant for black. Put an XX black horror creature token onto the battlefield where X is the number of creatures that died this turn.
Now we're talking.
Yeah, that's good with Massacre Girl.
Infernal Genesis. I love this card.
Oh man, Ron Spencer art from Prophecy. Okay.
I love this card.
Black 4 enchantment. At the beginning of each player's upkeep, that player puts the top card of their library into their graveyard. They then put X1/1 minion creature tokens onto the battlefield, where X is the card's converted mana cost.
Oh,
So if you mill like a 5-drop, you get 5 1/1s.
that's right.
And then they just frickin' immediately die to to Karvik the Spiteless.
No,
and then
'cause
you
the-
draw 5.
Now they're black.
The Karvik don't care.
Oh yeah, Karvik. Oh yeah, I thought you were talking about the Evan card, but yes, that is.
Karvik is it's a creature, it dead.
Man, I remember one time somebody did. Somebody like looked at my hand so they could play a card out of it, and they said, "Huh, Infernal Genesis. I'm a token deck," and they put it into play, and they have like no tokens, right?
Yeah.
And then guy goes, my turn. I go, Toxrill. And he goes, whatever. And he mills like a 10 drop. Ha ha, 10 guys. And they all come into play. And he's like, you guys have haste? No. I'll go to the end of my turn. Y'all your guys still. I'll make 10 slugs.
Infernal Genesis, man. I haven't seen that card in a good long while.
Rise of the Dreaded Marm.
The Dreaded Marm?
Yes.
Definitely not what that card's called, but we're going with it. This is an instant for 3. Create X 2/2 black zombie berserker creature tokens, where X is the number of non-token creatures that died this turn. I'm thinking that creatures are going to die.
Yes.
Okay, we've seen a couple like this now.
Genesis Chamber.
Hey, you play this one.
Sure do.
Whenever a non-token creature enters the battlefield, if Genesis Chamber is untapped, you get a 1/1 colorless mirror artifact creature token.
Neat.
Does any player get that?
Yes.
Any player gets that.
That is everybody.
Oh, yeah, then my guys immediately die and you draw cards.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
That's right.
That's pretty good.
Slaughter Specialist.
Slaughter Specialist. Look at she got a bunch of mounted people on her wall behind her. Is that a baby?
Probably.
Ooh. I don't know if it's a baby or an old man.
I think it's a baby.
It's a 3/3.
It's a dude with a beard.
Perhaps. 3/3 vampire again, warrior for 2. When Slaughter Specialist enters the battlefield, each opponent creates a 1/1 white human creature token that will then die. Whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, which it will, put a +1/+1 counter on Slaughter Specialist.
Neat.
Huh.
I can't believe we're going to have to read this card.
Oh, man. I've played this card I've cast this card in games of Commander.
Tombstone Stairwell.
Tombstone.
Tombstone.
Okay. This is an enchant world from Mirage. Black 2, cumulative upkeep, black 1. During each upkeep, each player puts into play a Tombspawn token for each summon card in their graveyard. So each upkeep, everybody gets 2 2s equal to the creatures that are in their graveyard. You tracking so far?
Yes.
Okay. They got haste,
Uh-huh.
and if Tombstone Stairwell leaves, they all eat shit.
Yes. Also, the things are zombies.
Yes.
They're not zombies, but they're zombies.
They're zombies, but their name is Tombspawn.
Right. Because why not? Because of course.
Is that the last card?
No, there's 3 more.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
So
these are the good ones.
Everybody knew these were coming up. We do have a Zulaport Cutthroat, and we do have a Bastion of Remembrance. Those are our Aristocrats payoff for the infinite ETB loops that we created earlier with
there
those
we
2
go.
enchantments.
So we're doing the jank draft chaff frickin' protection from Green Beetle, but we're also doing infinite combos, so we can serve both kind of
So
outcomes.
if you can randomly assemble this 3-card combo, you will then win.
Well, dude, 1 Black Sun Zenith when there's 10 creatures on the battlefield might get us there.
Yeah.
Like, how many cards do you have to draw before it's just tutoring?
We used to have a number in our heads for that, but we'll talk about that later.
Sure.
The last one is Rise of the Dark Realms. That's a sorcery for black 7. Put all creatures from all graveyards into play under your control. It's kind of like Insurrection, but slow.
Blacksurrection.
Yes.
Insurblaction.
I don't like it as much.
As Insurrection?
No. Because Insurrection makes you win right now. Rise of the Dark Realms just gets somebody to play a Cyclonic Rift.
Well, you could play Cyclonic Rift against Insurrection.
No. Insurrection's too fast.
Too fast.
Too fast.
I
It
don't.
costs 8.
Oh,
Fucking guy.
I suppose.
Jeez.
Yeah, this costs 9.
That's the deck.
That's the deck. Here, let's jump over real quick. I got some question for you.
All right.
That's French for question.
'Tis.
Strengths and weaknesses, actually.
Yeah.
The strengths I have are indubitably strengths. Peep
Yes.
this. New, interesting, hotness. People will build around this. We will see this card.
We're playing Wither. I love Wither.
We will see this card, and we will see Wither cards that we haven't seen since 2007 or 8.
Yes.
Yes, and that is distinctly fun and a positive interaction I'm going to have with this deck.
Agreed.
Uses counters in not a new way, but a feels new and refreshing way.
Yes.
I'm not just doing +1s. I'm doing -1s.
Yes.
And I'm -1 in your guys till they die, then I'm drawing cards.
Correct.
Like all over the place.
There's a great benefit for doing this kind of under-supported thing.
Yeah.
-1/-1 counters are an under-supported mechanic, and Massacre Girl, Killer Clown really gives us an outlet to channel them into.
Yeah, and we're commander players. We love under-supported things when they get their due.
Yes.
Right? Like when we finally get the thing, it's like, oh, I've been waiting. Last strength.
Okay.
Tell me this.
Okay.
I appreciate this one. Mono black feels good because it's so bad. Tell me I'm wrong.
I really think Mono Black has some holes in it. I'm not going to lie.
Moving over to the
I
weaknesses.
think Mono Black does have a lot of glaring holes in it, and it feels great to play, and it feels like I am the most powerful wizard in the universe.
Yes.
And then somebody comes along and is like, yeah, well, I have an enchantment.
Well, here's the thing. Sometimes people feel monocolored decks have a glaring weakness.
So those people can fuck off.
Well, I'm just saying generically monocolor.
Bah.
Does this deck have anything that... Is it missing anything we might need?
First strike?
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Enchantment removal?
Enchantment removal. That's a black issue, but I think that it's...
Tutors?
We could do more if we had... I can't think of any off the top of my head, but I kept saying Phyrexian Obliterator. I think we need some just big beatery dudes in addition to our tokens. Because I don't think that tokens are going to be enough to get you there unless you find some way of really pumping them up.
You mean to just wither the shit out of guys?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna tell.
Oh, Grave Titan. There's a good example because we're doing tokens there and we've got a big beater.
And I'm gonna tell you because I play the black creature that gives all of our black creatures wither with the Grave Titan, and nobody's blocking that Grave Titan.
No.
And nobody's attacking into two zombies that are untapped. That will then shrivel their attackers into nothing.
Yes.
Nobody's blocking.
Yeah.
Nobody's attacking.
We might want some vampire lords. Like, what's the one where he gives other vampires +1/+1? He's the flip card. You tap to make a vampire. Then you flip him and he makes like 2/2 vampires. It's from Innistrad, remember? Bloodline, big guy.
Yeah,
best guy in Innistrad Limited. That one.
That guy. He's very good, yes.
Yeah, something like that. Fits the vampire theme, so it still works.
Bloodline Asscaster?
Something.
Bloodline. Fuck. I don't care what his
everybody
name is.
knows what we're talking about.
Yeah, they're screaming it at their thing. They're like, Brian Brando, you suck. But the point is, we know that the card exists. You're welcome.
Yeah, I agree. Needs big guys. There is some card draw, like dedicated card draw if we don't have our commander. Are we leaning on the commander too much for our card draw?
I think for the level of game that you're going to play this deck at, I don't think so. I think that you want to play this game at a pretty casual table, and I think that you can lean on your...
Do we? Everybody's going to die. Everybody's going to say, oh, there's a fucking stacks deck. It doesn't let me play anything.
Well, then don't play with people who are dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hate to use that type of verbiage, but like, if people look at Master going, that's a stacks deck. Just attack.
I think that's objectively wrong. Yeah. I think
that's not correct.
The emotion it would maybe bring out might make you feel like you're playing a stacks deck, but really this is a control deck that wants to just draw tons of frickin' cards until it can kill you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By beating you to death with the giant dudes that you're going to put in here.
I suppose.
Yeah.
Peep this, $340.
Yep.
That's a budget section. $340.
Doesn't have the giant mana package that it could have either. We should point that out. You could have a Nyx. You could have Cabal Coffers, an
Cabal
Urborg.
Stronghold.
You could have all that stuff, and it has none of that stuff.
Now, we do have... I didn't cut the cards that I thought were integral to how the deck functioned, but I did find some expensive cards because there are quite a few of them in here.
Yes, there are.
Now, the first one is the one we focused on right at the start, Throne of Eldraine, $27.
Yeah, toss it.
Toss it. We don't need it? Okay. Immortal Sun. This is, hey, did we miss that card?
No, we talked about it. We mentioned it. We just didn't talk about it.
Did we?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right, in the Mana Rock section, because it makes your stuff cost less.
It makes your dudes bigger. Planeswalkers can't be activated. Draws you an extra card. Makes your stuff cost less. Costs 6. It's
so does
fine.
Grave Titan.
Yeah.
Okay.
You play Grave Titan instead, but
Yeah,
this is
he
fine.
doesn't. Grave Titan doesn't cost $19. Jet Medallion. Could this be any other Mana Rock?
No.
You don't think?
Gotta play medallions in your monocolored deck. I respect the medallions.
Okay. If you don't have $25 though,
Then you play something else.
yeah, okay. And Virtue of Persistence. This gets us a dead guy back every upkeep from any graveyard.
From our graveyard. Oh, a graveyard. Oh,
Yeah, yeah. So like it's good because it's any graveyard, but
Let me tell you what this is actually going to do.
$21.
Let me tell you a story.
Okay.
This is the tale of Virtue of Persistence. On turn 3, you, as the player of this deck, are going to fan your cards out. You're going to tap 2 mana. You're going to kill a guy.
That seems
You're
good.
going to gain 2 life. Maybe you're going to draw a card. Who can say? But then, later on in the game has progressed. There's been a couple of wipes. Everything's going great. You're going to play Virtue of Persistence with all your mana.
Yep.
Then, at the end of your turn, the green player is going to go grip. And that's what's going to happen to this every single time. Just like when you play Shieldred, just like when you play Debtor's Knell, just like when you play all the things that do this.
Oh yeah, no, you know what?
The cost-benefit ratio is very high, but the cost-failure ratio, which you will experience more often than you think you will, is not worth the $21 in this deck.
There you go. Yeah, F you, Alex just the other night had a Haywire Might that you sacrifice to destroy target non-creature or exile target non-creature enchantment in his Marin deck.
Yep.
Ain't nobody had enchantments, right?
It's just gone.
Gone. Okay.
Forever.
So $21, cut it, put a big creature in, put I don't know what Phyrexian Obliterator costs, probably $20.
They'd probably cost the same amount of money,
But if we make those 4 cuts, like I didn't cut the Ozolith, I didn't cut some of the other expensive stuff because I really felt that they were in tune with how the deck works.
they're very good.
4 cuts, $250.
Yep.
It's pretty good.
Honestly, I think you could cut the Meat Hook Massacre too.
I
think you could.
That goes infinite with our combo. So if you don't like infinite combos, that's another way to save $40.
It doesn't, does it? Oh, each opponent loses a life. Yeah.
Whenever a creature you control dies, each opponent loses a life.
I always think it's the other way. And you know why I think it's the other way? Because I'm like, man, they must have balanced this card so that we can't just do what everybody thinks you can. No, they didn't.
That card's pretty good.
This is a really good card.
That card's good.
Yeah, I played it at Potter. I've definitely won games with it.
Yep. So you know what? I actually like this deck more than just the fact that it's mono black, more than the fact that it goes like kind of casual and jank counter focused all the way up to frickin' we could actually combo with this and have all the stuff in there like black based CEDH decks have. Just add tutors and fucking go. Yep. This deck could be fun. New interesting ability that brings back Magic's Past to the forefront of like we'll actually see this deck, and that's exciting to me.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I'm happy that we actually did this one because I was thinking, should I build this? Should I do
there
it?
You go.
And then I saw one built.
I'm going to frickin' build it. Ha!
Not the way I would do it. I would have done it with like just big, huge, savage beaters and like recyclable little guys, like reassembling skeletons instead of tokens that I could use to like...
Yeah, reassembly and frickin' blood gasp and...
Yeah, because those little piece of shit guys are going to get in there and do some work.
Yep.
And I like that. But that's how I would do it. That's not how... Who did it?
Jawfreak Stacks Hole.
Jawfreak Stacks. Oh, man, it's right in his name. He built the Stacks deck.
Frick, oh, man.
What a hole.
Kick him out of the nation.
No, we shan't. He's a good guy. He made a good deck. I appreciate this.
I got this.
Tell me.
If he wants to pick up a Grave Titan, where's he going to go?
He's going to go to FusionGamingOnline.com, your source for all your gaming needs. He's going to type Grave Titan into the search bar. Yep. He's going to click Add to Cart. He's going to put CCO Summer in the promo code bar at checkout. He's going to save 5% off the Grave Titan and some of the other sweet suggestions you made.
Like a Nyx Lotus and a
Phyrexian Obliterator.
Yes, Cabal Coffers, but like the Minas Morgul one from Lord of the Rings.
Mutilate.
Oh yeah.
And a full art game day Black Sun Zenith.
Yes.
Man, if you're going to play Black Sun Zenith, that's the one.
Urborg Tomb to Yawgmoth. He needs that too.
He get the Lord of the Rings version of that too.
Yeah, I like that one.
That's a good one. I like that.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yep.
So, that's the deck.
Huh?
That's how you buy the pieces for the deck.
Yep.
What if you want to drink beer while you're building the deck?
Oh.
Or playing the deck? You can head over to Pile of Bones or your local liquor store that might sell Pile of Bones. Pick some up, try them for yourself. They're very good. Me and Ryan like them.
Yep, you could probably order them online.
Drink brews while you brew, if you will.
Their website is always in the show notes on the YouTube version of the podcast.
So check them out.
There we go.
They're good dudes and they're good beer. Now, we have an extra special bonus episode tomorrow. You know what we're going to talk about, Ryan? We just talked a lot about massacres and mutilating and massacres.
And sex acts.
And murder.
Yes.
And all sorts of stuff at Karlov Manor. You know what Karlov Manor reminds me of?
No.
The house that Clue happened in.
Oh.
And you know what happened there.
Max Grandel got murdered?
Got murdered with a lead pipe in the hallway by Brando. And if you think that's not going to happen soon, you don't even understand life. And we're going to tell you more about that in a very special bonus episode of Commander Cookout Podcast. Hit our theme song!